Dr. John McCarthy, the founding father of artificial intelligence, coined the term of artificial intelligence in 1955, in which he defines it as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. He later on goes into an interview to discuss artificial intelligence.
If it takes 200 years to achieve artificial intelligence, and then finally there is a textbook that explains how it's done, the hardest part of that textbook to write will be the part that explains why people didn't think of it 200 years ago.
In the 1950s, Allen decided to construct a paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence, that was released as a framework that if humans could use information as well as reason in order to solve problems and make decisions, then why can't machines do the same thing? The paper became a logical concept that discussed how to build intelligent machines as well as to test their intelligence. To test his own theories, Turing invented the Turing test, a test designed to test the machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to that of a human. Unfortunately, the minor setback hindered the comeback that computers during this period of time did not have the ability to store commands as well as execute them. Additionally, computers were extremely expensive. During this time period of 1956, Dr. John McCarthy and Marvin Minsky, both pictured on the left, hosted a historic conference called the Dartmouth Summer Research Project. The conference gathered 20 of the brightest minds in computer and cognitive science for a workshop dedicated to finding the moment of artificial intelligence. Three men, Alan Newell, Cliff Shaw, and Herbert Simon, presented their logic theorists at this conference. It was a program designed to mimic the problem-solving skills of humans. This program, funded by the Research and Development Corporation, is considered to be the first artificial intelligence program. This conference is widely considered to be the founding moment of artificial intelligence as a field of research. After the conference and into the 1970s, artificial intelligence flourished. Computers began to run much faster, they became cheaper, and much more approachable. Marvin Minsky developed a top-down approach. It would be done by pre-programming computers with the rules that govern human behavior. He felt that this approach would help push artificial intelligence and would result in the upper hand of the Cold War. Minsky tells Life magazine, "From 3 to 8 years, we will have a machine with the general intelligence of an average human being." While this approach seemed beneficial, there were still problems with computers not being able to store enough information and process that information fast enough. Hans Moravec, a student of Dr. McCarthy, stated, "Computers were still millions of times too weak to exhibit intelligence. As patience dwindled, so did the finding and research came to a slow roll for 10 years. In the early years of the 1980s, artificial intelligence was rekindled. John Hopfield and others came up with techniques to allow computers to learn using experience and others that mimic the decision-making process of a human. At this point, artificial intelligence still had not been reached. It was not until 1997 when world chess champ Garry Kasparov was defeated by a chess-playing computer program. This was the very big first step of artificial intelligence. Fast forward into the 21st century and into the era of technology. Artificial intelligence has been invoked in several industries from war, banking, to entertainment. In present day, scientists and programmers are looking at developing self-driving cars and many more. As for philosophy, artificial intelligence fits right in. They both share several of the same concepts on intelligence, consciousness, and free will. Philosophers argue that AI does not fit in with the characteristics of a person. In the article, Self-Aware Robots, they state that there's 3 major aspects that make us superior to robots: self-awareness, emotions, and motivation. If they can reach these, then they will be equal to humans. Descartes, a French philosopher, tells the theory that only rational humans have the ability to give reason. The fact that he has the ability to think gives him reason of his own existence. He supports that animals are complex, self-moving machines. They have life and predetermined mechanisms. He is opposed to the idea that AI can reach personhood. Derek Parfit, on the other hand, argues that there's no adequate criteria needed to have an identity. You can continue to exist because survival is based off mind and body. He supports that AI can be human since there's no requirements to be one. In addition, a wise men test, or puzzle, was done on 3 robots. One had the dummy pill and couldn't speak. When asked who had the pill, the robot spoke up, realizing that it clearly doesn't have the pill if it can speak. The mirror test was another test done to allow a robot to identify itself through the mirror. All in all, AI is faster, consistent, safer, and faster productivity. Others argue it is expensive and can replace manhood. While we continue to live in an era based around technology, there are many philosophers and individuals with multiple views of why AI is both good and bad. In a world we live in today, it is only going to get more advanced and better.